Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about the 2020 presidential election based solely on polling data. So basically on your screen is the 2020 electoral map, and I'm just going to be filling this map based on the new polling averages that have come out from each of the states. So to make this more interesting, I'm actually just going to be going in alphabetical order. This is not something I typically do. I typically go safe, lean, likely, and then tilt states, but this time around I'll try going in alphabetical order, and basically there's no polling out of that state. I will be making it yellow, and then I will be categorizing it at the end of this video. So the first state is the state of Alabama. 9 electoral votes. Donald Trump currently has a very strong hold on this state, 18.3% over Joe Biden. He will take the state of Alabama, a safe state for President Trump. And next is the state of Alaska. Alaska is not as safe for Donald Trump as it was for him in 2016. The state went to him by 10-11% in 2016, and even more for Mitt Romney and John McCain. However, now he only leads by 4 points in the state of Alaska, which means it will be a lean state for Donald Trump. And next is the state of Arizona. Very interestingly, Joe Biden leads in the state of Arizona and has been for quite a while now. Biden is up 3.6% in the state of Arizona, making it a lean state for Joe Biden. And if you don't know what my classifications are, basically 15% and over is safe for either candidate, so that's the darkest blue, and then less than that, that is a likely margin, which means 7 to 15%, and then 2 to 15% is a lean margin, and then the lowest margin is the tilt margin, which is basically 0 to 2% in favor of either candidate. So moving on from the state of Arizona is the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas currently leans towards Trump by 2%. Very surprising. This is only because there's only made one poll out of the state. However, we will be going by the polling data. I think that Donald Trump will definitely have a larger margin of victory here. However, currently the only poll shows him only up by 2%. And then for Joe Biden, next is the state of California, 30.3% ahead of Donald Trump in the state of California for Joe Biden. 55 electoral votes. The state of California, again, is very safe for the Democrats and will definitely be a safe state for Joe Biden in 2020. And next is the state of Colorado, 12.8% in favor of Biden. I did used to actually give this state to Joe Biden as a solid state in my predictions and stuff like that. However, since a couple of weeks ago, his polling average has dropped in the state of Colorado from around 18% to 13% where it is now. However, it is still a likely state for Joe Biden, and he is still expected to outperform Hillary Clinton's margins from 2016. Next, moving on to the northeast is the state of Connecticut, 23 up for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. Definitely a safe state for Joe Biden in 2020. Along with that is his home state of Delaware. They haven't many polls out of the state. The only one shows him up 16 points over Trump, so we're just going to use that. However, Delaware is still going to be a safe state for Joe Biden nonetheless. Next is the District of Columbia. There's no data out of Washington, D.C., so I'm just going to make it yellow for now. And then next is the state of Florida. For Florida, very surprisingly, actually leans towards Biden at the moment, a lean margin for Joe Biden. He was up by over 7% a couple of weeks ago. However, it has dropped down. He is now up 5.2% in a state that Donald Trump won by 1.2% in 2016. And next is the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, Donald Trump leads by 0.9%, a very narrow margin for the incumbent. 0.9%, that would make Georgia a tilt state. This is a state he won by 5% in 2016, and by even larger margins in Republican candidates before him. However, Georgia is becoming very close in 2020. Next is the state of Hawaii. Joe Biden leads by 27 points in the state of Hawaii. Typically always a very safe Democratic state. Hawaii will not be flipping in 2020. It will definitely be a safe state for Joe Biden. And after the state of Hawaii, we have the state of Idaho. In the state of Idaho, there is actually no data out of this state. That is just because, Idaho, not too many people, and it's definitely going to be a safe Republican state. So no polling yet has been conducted in the state of Idaho. As well as that, the state of Illinois. Illinois, there's no polling yet out of the state of Illinois just because it's a very safe Democratic state. 20 electorals, Barack Obama's home state. It will almost definitely go to Joe Biden. We're just going to categorize these states at the end of this video. And next is the state of Indiana. Indiana leans towards Donald Trump at the moment, 14.4%, very close to that 15% mark. However, I will have to categorize it as a likely state for Donald Trump. This is Mike Pence, his vice president's home state. And next is the state of Iowa, 6 electoral votes. Trump leads by 1.4% in the state of Iowa. This state did go to Trump in 2016 by over 9%. He flipped it from 2008 and 2012 when Barack Obama carried the state both times. However, now Trump continues to lead in the state. He was actually below Biden a couple of weeks ago. However, he has regained the lead in the state of Iowa, up 1.4%. Next is the state of Kansas, 6 electoral votes. Trump is up 10.7%. This is pretty low compared to his 2016 margin, or basically any Republican in the past, but Kansas is only up 10.7% for Donald Trump. It will still go to him, however, it's not as large of a margin as I expected. Next is the state of Kentucky. This is Mitch McConnell's home state. He is the Senate Majority Leader, and he currently leads. Donald Trump leads by 16% in the state of Kentucky, making it a safe state for Donald Trump. And next is the state of Louisiana. There's no data out of this state, a very solid Republican state, so I'm going to fill that in at the end. However, for now, it will be in the no data column. Next, we have the state of Maine. Basically, there is a poll out of the state of Maine, first district, and then one out of its second district. In the first district of Maine, which is basically the at-large vote, Biden currently leads by 10.9%, so likely for Biden in the at-large vote as well as the first district. And in the second district, Donald Trump leads by 1% based on the only one poll that has come out pretty recently. Basically, that is a 1-point lead for Trump, so a tilt margin for Donald Trump in the second district of Maine. And next is the state of Maryland. In the state of Maryland, Biden, of course, a very solid Democratic state right next to Delaware. Maryland will go to Joe Biden. He is up 24% in the state of Maryland. And next, looking at the state of Massachusetts, this is Elizabeth Warren's home state. Biden leads by 31.3%, which means it will definitely be a safe state for Joe Biden. Next is the state of Minnesota. In the state of Minnesota, this state only went to Hillary Clinton by 1.5% in 2016. However, now it is looking to be a likely state for Joe Biden. Biden currently has a 7.8% lead in the state of Minnesota. And next is the state of, I believe, next is the state of Mississippi. I can't read my own writing, but Mississippi leans towards Donald Trump by 10%, so a likely state for the incumbent president. He leads by 10% in the state of Mississippi over Joe Biden. And then next after this, we have the state of Missouri, typically a pretty close state. However, it has moved more and more to the right. Barack Obama came within 0.2% of winning this state for the Democratic Party in 2008 against John McCain. However, since then, it has moved more and more to the left, which is why it leads for Trump by over 5%, 5.7% for Donald Trump in the state of Missouri. So he has a lean margin in this state. And next is the state of Montana. Trump leads by 8.9% in this state, so it is a likely margin. Typically, this would be a safe Republican state on the presidential level. However, Donald Trump is underperforming in polls in most safe Republican states. And after this, we have the state of Nebraska. There's actually no polling data out of the Nebraska at large or first or third districts. These are the two safe GOP districts. However, in the second congressional district in the state of Nebraska, Biden leads by 8%, which makes it a likely congressional district for Joe Biden. And after this is the state of Nevada, 6 electoral votes. This is a state that Hillary Clinton was not expected to win. In 2016, Trump was actually leading in the polls here. However, she did pull out a win. She won the state by 2.4%. And now in 2020, Biden leads by 6.1%, making it a lean state for Joe Biden in the state of Nevada. And next is the state of New Hampshire. Biden is up 9 points in the state of New Hampshire. He only got 5th place here in the Democratic primary all the way back in February. However, since then, Biden has polled pretty well in the state. He's up 9%, which means it is a lean state for Joe Biden. Next is the state of New Jersey, definitely a safe Democratic state. He's up 19.5%. So there's no question about who this state will go to. And after that is the state of New Mexico. Biden leads by 13 points here, very similar to the state of Colorado. I think Colorado and New Mexico will vote very similarly in the election. He leads by 13 points in New Mexico. Next is the other traditionally Democratic state of New York. New York has not gone to Republican in decades, and in the state of New York, 29 electoral votes, very important for Joe Biden, and he leads by 24.9% in the Empire State. Next is the state of North Carolina. Biden actually leads by 2.3% in this state. So basically, it is in the same categorization as the state of Nevada. So I think that's just pretty surprising. North Carolina, considering it typically being a Republican state, has not gone to a Democrat in a couple of years, but Joe Biden is expected to flip the state of North Carolina for the first time in a very long time. And after this is the state of North Dakota. Trump leads by 21%. It's a traditional Republican state, and I think that his 21% lead is quite small for a Republican. However, it is still a safe lead nonetheless. After this is the state of Ohio. Ohio, pretty interesting here. Very, very close race in the state of Ohio. I would say Ohio is probably the closest race in this election. Biden currently has a 0.3% lead. It was polling in favor of Donald Trump for the last couple of weeks. However, since then, Biden has very narrowly taken the lead for a very short amount of time. He's led for around a couple of days now. He leads by 0.3% in the state of Ohio, giving him 18 electoral votes. And after this is the state of Oklahoma. In the state of Oklahoma, Trump leads by 23%. So definitely a safe state for the president. And after this, the state of Oregon. There is no data out of this state, so I will make it yellow, of course. And then next is the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is only polling in favor of Joe Biden by 6%. So that is only a lean state for Joe Biden. This is his birthday, keep in mind. But 6% for Joe Biden in the state of Pennsylvania. And I just realized I skipped the state of Michigan. Michigan polls in favor of Joe Biden by 7.8%. Sorry about that, if you noticed. And then in the state of Michigan, 16 electoral votes. This state went to Donald Trump in 2016. However, Biden is widely expected to win, as Donald Trump has pulled ads out of the state of Michigan, basically saying that he will not be working too hard towards retaining the state. And the state of Michigan is very widely expected to flip back for the Democrats. Now after this, after the state of Pennsylvania continuing, we have the state of Rhode Island. There is no polling data out of this state, so it will be in the no data column for now. And next is the state of South Carolina. Trump leads by 6.4% in the state of South Carolina, making it a lean state for Donald Trump. And next is the state of South Dakota, also no data, so in the yellow column it goes. And then in the state of Tennessee, 11 electoral votes. Trump leads by 11.7%. I would expect it to be bigger. However, it is still almost definitely going to go to President Trump. So 11 electoral votes will go to Trump, as he is up 11.7% in the state of Tennessee. And next is the state of Texas. Biden was actually leading in the state for quite a bit just last week, and then a little bit more a couple of weeks ago. The state has really been going back and forth. They were actually even for over a week last month. However, the state of Texas is now polling in favor of Donald Trump by 0.9%, mainly because of a new poll showing him up 6% after two polls that showed Biden leading in both of them consecutively, which is why Biden was leading in the state. However, now Trump has retaken the lead, a very narrow lead, but still a lead. So based on polling data, he would win the state of Texas, 0.9 points ahead of the former vice president in this state. And next is the state of Utah. Trump leads by 11.4% in the state of Utah. A lot of Republicans there do not like Donald Trump. That's why a lot of them did vote for Mitt Romney in 2012. They like less radical Republicans in the state of Utah, which is why Trump was not too well liked in this state. However, he does have an 11.4% polling lead in this state, and he is still expected to carry this state in November. And next is the state of Vermont. This is Bernie Sanders' home state. Vermont, no data, so it'll be in the yellow column. Next is the state of Virginia. Joe Biden currently has a likely lead in the state. He leads by 10.4% in the state of Virginia. After this is the state of Washington. In the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes. Biden leads by 26.4%, so definitely a safe state for Joe Biden. And then after this is the state of West Virginia. This is a very Republican state. Trump leads by 36 points in the state. Sorry about that. Trump leads by 36% in the state of West Virginia. And we have two more states left. First, in the state of Wisconsin. In the state of Wisconsin, Biden leads by 7.3%. So this is pretty surprising, considering how the state of Wisconsin is now polling better for Joe Biden than the state of Pennsylvania. Just getting to how Wisconsin is the more conservative state out of the three Rust Belt states that went to Donald Trump, surprisingly, in 2016. And lastly, we have the state of Wyoming. There is no polling data out of this state. So basically, based on all the polls we have out, Joe Biden will win the election with 315 electoral votes, and Donald Trump will lose with 164 electoral votes. There are 59 electoral votes in states with no data. However, right now I will be filling all of them in. First, with the safe Democratic states, the states of Oregon, as well as the state of Rhode Island, Vermont, and the District of Columbia. These are all safe Democratic states. They have been for a very long time, including the state of Illinois, safe for the Democrats. Now, the reason these states have no data is just because these states have been very safe for their party basically all past elections, recent elections. And then for Donald Trump, the states of Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Maine's at-large 1st and 3rd district vote, as well as the state of Louisiana, are all safe for Donald Trump. Which brings us now to Joe Biden winning the election still with 352 electoral votes to Donald Trump with 186, which means based solely on polling data at the moment, Joe Biden would be elected the 46th president of the United States, beating incumbent President Donald Trump. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel as well as liking this video. Leave any of your thoughts in the comments as well as some video suggestions you'd like to see in the future, and I will see you in the next video.